Welcome back. Today we're breaking down 10 countries Filipinos can't enter in 2025 and why. This isn't about fear, but about staying informed and safe as global travelers. Let's dive right in. First up, Afghanistan. The country remains off-limits due to extreme instability and ongoing conflict. The Philippine government has a strict no-travel order, no tourism, no work, no exceptions. There's no embassy, no flights, and no way to get help if you're in trouble. Risks include terrorism, kidnapping, and total lack of support. Entering Afghanistan is not just illegal for Filipinos, it's life-threatening. Until peace returns, Afghanistan is a closed door. Safety comes first, always. Number 2 on our list is Libya, a country located in North Africa, bordered by the Mediterranean Sea to the north and surrounded by nations like Egypt, Tunisia, and Algeria. Once known for its rich oil reserves and vibrant cities, Libya has, in recent years, become synonymous with instability and danger. The nation is still deeply torn by civil war and ongoing chaos. Since the fall of its former leader in 2011, Libya has struggled to establish a stable government. Rival factions and militias continue to fight for control, leaving much of the country in turmoil. Daily life is marked by uncertainty, and violence can erupt without warning, making it one of the most dangerous places in the world. Because of these extreme conditions, the Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs has imposed a total ban on travel and deployment of overseas Filipino workers to Libya. This means that no new workers are allowed to go, and even those already there are strongly encouraged to leave as soon as possible. Security across Libya is highly unpredictable. Armed groups control many areas, and the risk of kidnapping, armed robbery, and violent attacks is extremely high. Foreigners, especially those perceived as outsiders, are often targeted, making travel here exceptionally dangerous. The Philippine Embassy in Tripoli operates with only a skeleton crew, focusing mainly on emergency situations. Outside the capital, assistance is almost impossible to provide, leaving Filipinos and other foreigners with very limited support if they run into trouble. Even if you somehow manage to secure a visa, you would be entering a lawless environment where government authority is weak or non-existent. There are few safe places to go, and reliable transportation and communication are hard to find. The Philippine government's message is clear and urgent. Do not travel to Libya under any circumstances. The risks to your safety and security are simply too great. With airports frequently closed, borders tightly controlled, and violence never far away, the dangers far outweigh any possible reason to visit Libya at this time. For now, Libya remains strictly off-limits for Filipinos and most travelers. Until peace and stability return, it's a destination best avoided for your own safety. Third on the list is Syria, a country that has been devastated by more than a decade of relentless war and conflict. Once known for its rich history and vibrant culture, Syria is now synonymous with destruction and hardship. The scars of war are visible everywhere, from the shattered buildings to the empty streets that were once full of life. The entire nation has become a conflict zone. Daily life is marked by the constant threat of bombings, kidnappings, and violence. Basic services like electricity, water, and healthcare are either unreliable or completely unavailable. For ordinary Syrians, survival is a daily struggle, and the sense of normalcy has long disappeared. The Philippine Embassy in Damascus has been closed for years, which means there is absolutely no consular support available for Filipinos in Syria. If you find yourself in trouble, there's no one to turn to for help or protection. Traveling to Syria is nearly impossible. There are no direct flights, border crossings are heavily restricted, and anyone attempting to enter faces astronomical risks, including arrest, injury, or worse. The travel ban imposed by the Philippine government is absolute. There is no tourism, no work opportunities, and no exceptions granted under any circumstances. The risks are simply too high. The government's top priority is to keep Filipinos out of harm's way. Every decision is made with the safety and security of its citizens in mind, especially in places as dangerous as Syria. Syria remains one of the world's most dangerous places, with ongoing violence, instability, and humanitarian crises affecting millions of people every day. For these reasons, the travel ban will remain firmly in place throughout 2025, with no signs of being lifted anytime soon. Yemen is next, gripped by civil war and humanitarian disaster. The DFA's highest alert level means mandatory repatriation and a total travel ban. Airstrikes, disease outbreaks, and collapsed services make it deadly for foreigners. No embassy, no help. Entering Yemen is a huge risk. The ban covers all travel, tourism, business and work. Yemen's rich history is sadly inaccessible for now. With no peace in sight, the ban will continue in 2025. Safety is the top priority. Somalia, in the Horn of Africa, is plagued by terrorism, crime and piracy. The government strongly warns against all travel. No formal ban, but the risk is extreme. Al-Shabaab controls large areas and attacks are frequent. No Philippine embassy means no real help if you're in trouble. Kidnapping and violent crime are rampant, even in the capital. Piracy remains a threat off the coast. For 2025, Somalia is not a destination for Filipinos. The dangers are simply too great. South Sudan, the world's youngest country, is racked by violence and instability. Civil war, ethnic clashes and rampant crime make it extremely unsafe. There's no Philippine embassy and infrastructure is nearly non-existent. Even minor injuries can become life-threatening due to poor medical care. The peace deal is fragile and conflict could erupt any time. The government's advisory is clear. Do not travel to South Sudan. The risks are overwhelming. For 2025, it remains a no-go zone. The Central African Republic is mired in conflict and lawlessness. Armed groups control most of the country and violence is widespread. The DFA strongly advises against all travel. No embassy, no support. Foreigners are frequent targets for kidnapping and robbery. Infrastructure is almost non-existent and health services are minimal. The situation is unlikely to improve soon. Car remains one of the world's most dangerous places for travelers. The travel advisory is strict and necessary. North Korea is restricted for different reasons: secrecy, authoritarian rule, and diplomatic isolation. Travel is possible only through state-approved tours, with minders watching your every move. Arbitrary detention is a real risk for even minor infractions. The DFA strongly warns against non-essential travel. Consular help is nearly impossible. The country remains sealed off due to its own policies. Even if tourism resumes, the risks are severe. For 2025, North Korea is best avoided. Iraq is for the most part a destination that remains strictly off-limits for travelers, especially for Filipinos. The country has long been plagued by ongoing terrorism, frequent outbreaks of violence, and deep-rooted political instability. These factors have made it one of the most dangerous places in the world to visit, with security threats that can erupt without warning. The risks are not just theoretical. There have been numerous incidents involving bombings, kidnappings and armed conflict, particularly in major cities like Baghdad and Mosul. Because of these persistent dangers, the Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, has imposed a strict travel and deployment ban covering almost the entire country. This means that Filipinos are not allowed to travel to or work in most parts of Iraq. The ban is enforced at airports and border checkpoints, and violators can face serious consequences. The DFA regularly updates its advisories to reflect the volatile situation on the ground. However, there is one notable exception to this rule: the semi-autonomous region of Iraqi Kurdistan. This area includes the cities of Erbil, Sulaymaniyah and Dohuk. While travel here is technically permitted, it is important to understand that the situation remains unpredictable. Although Kurdistan is generally more stable and secure than the rest of Iraq, it is not completely free from risk. Travelers should remain vigilant, as the security environment can change rapidly. If you do decide to visit Iraqi Kurdistan, you must fly directly into the region, usually via Erbil International Airport. Entering Kurdistan by transiting through other parts of Iraq is strictly prohibited and can put you in serious danger. The border controls are tight, and authorities are on high alert for unauthorized travelers. The situation in Iraq is highly fluid, with conditions that can deteriorate overnight. News of attacks, political unrest, or border closures can break at any moment. That's why it's absolutely essential to stay informed and monitor official government advisories and news updates constantly. For the vast majority of Iraq, the door remains firmly shut to travelers. The risks are simply too great, and the restrictions are strictly enforced by both Iraqi and Philippine authorities. Only a small, relatively stable region, Kurdistan, offers a possible entry point, and even then, extreme caution is advised. The local government works hard to maintain security, but no area is completely immune to the broader instability affecting the country. Before making any plans, always check the latest travel advisories from the DFA and your embassy. Stay updated on the situation and be prepared to change your plans at a moment's notice. Your safety should always come first when considering travel to Iraq. Haiti faces total state collapse, rampant gang violence and humanitarian crisis. The capital is controlled by gangs, and kidnapping rates are among the world's highest. The DFA and UN advise against all travel. No embassy, no help, no security. Infrastructure is in ruins and basic services are scarce. Airports and roads are often closed or blocked by violence. For 2025, Haiti is one of the most dangerous places on Earth. The advisory is clear. Do not travel under any circumstances. Your safety cannot be guaranteed. That's our list of 10 countries Filipinos should avoid in 2025. Travel is a dream, but safety must always come first. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe and stay updated. Always check the DFA website for the latest advisories before making plans. The world changes fast. Stay informed, stay safe. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.